Welcome to the East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. This is your boy D-Rock sitting next to
East Coast Trev.
And
Ryan the porn star.
Ooh. So today we got a really cool episode. I mean, we get to talk to a badass, savage motherfucker, Sue Aikens from Life Below Zero. You don't get much cooler than her. I mean, I love the whole cast, but there's a lot of people that put her to be their favorite. Again, I can't say who my favorite is. Might be Sue.
Might be.
But the fact that she has to get her satellite and internet bouncing off the bedrock off the moon because she had a geologist come and kind of get the statistics for that, so this way she can stay, because she's a mother and grandmother, so this way she can stay in touch with her family.
From MySpace.
I know, ever since MySpace, she said. She does talk about bringing up MySpace, talk about OG, and being on social media, and she doesn't do it for the fan base. She does it for the necessity. And this is what this episode touches on a lot, is conservation, necessities, and responsibilities, and unity. I know we're beating a dead horse with the unity, but come on, fellas, we're all on the same side.
And women.
Yeah. Fellas.
Ladies.
Well, fellas is AS.
Yeah.
So
Well,
fellows
in
and
Spanish,
fellas.
if it ends with an A, it's feminine, right?
Feminine, yeah.
Yeah.
So, there you go. We're on the porch. Bro, how many Spanish ladies have you filmed with?
Bro, well, we don't want to go there.
No.
But
okay.
I know a little bit of
Well,
Spanish.
pre-girlfriend. Because now you're just...
We're still not going to go there, but
okay.
I know a little Spanish if you ask that.
Hey, how do you guys feel about this frozen slushy smoothie shot?
I don't know. I've chugged
The
it.
orange creamsicle is insane.
That's good stuff, man. So we're really looking forward to the WCB shoot coming up. That's going to be something to be said. Get together with the boys, get to know everyone, meet everyone, and it's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it was just a killer episode. I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh, okay.
But I was just like...
You want to go back to the episode?
Here we go.
So for our listeners out there,
Sorry.
we did already record, and we're just doing a pre-intro because it was just something that we need to touch on because
she was filming. There was a lot going on.
Exactly. She took the time. She's on set and filming, and she took the time on her break to record with the East Coast Bowhunting Podcast, which is something unreal. And we owe it all to our listeners, really.
Absolutely.
Our supporters. Huntfishdoe out of Massachusetts, he hooked us up with a rap song called Turkey Fails.
We got our boy Mike Salter.
Our boy Mike Salter is doing a lot of journalist type work for us. I'm pretty sure he's going to jump onto the crew. This way,
There's a ton of them. There's a
Yeah.
ton of big supporters. We have our big heavy hitting supporters. I mean, they're just...
Who's the first person you think of?
Supporter wise?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to think about it.
You want to go ahead, pass?
Yeah, I'll take a pass.
For you, I would have thought you would have shouted out Alex Wells.
Alex Wells is definitely a huge supporter.
Yeah, you guys hold hands frolicking in the woods, right?
Yeah, big time frolickers.
You guys carry little
We're
woven,
just joking, Alex. You're the man. You're the man.
Yeah.
We're just playing, man.
little woven baskets for your mushrooms. your Travis foraging and fishing fun.
I learned a lot from him, and he reached out to me, and I've had a bunch of supporters that have reached out to me that wanted to hunt with me and spend time and pick my brain and so on and so forth, and vice versa.
Not your
and
nose?
teach me things. No, not my nose, but
You have brains still?
yeah,
Wow.
some. And not I'm not saying it like that, like pick my brain, but I'm just saying like
I know.
that want to hunt together and do different things. Like Mike. That's how I got to know Mike at first. Like, he wanted to learn a little bit about turkey hunting and reaching out to him and talking to him. So there's a ton of people in that unite in the unity of working with everybody across the board. So it's really goes to show how far it actually pushes out. So it's definitely awesome.
No, I do have to agree, actually, is because in podcast land, if I'm able to go, which I hope I can, we were invited to go to Vermont with him.
Yeah.
And hit up his cabin up there, and it'd be cool to scout, do a little fishing. So in podcast land, we'd be coming back from that weekend. Hopefully we can make it. That'd be badass.
And also, not even that, but another supporter, Sean Polk. huge. You're going to hunt with him tomorrow. I mean, and that's a huge thing. I mean, he invited both of us out the opening week to hunt with him when he was here, and that's huge, man. That's so much fun. And the other one is
and he's a killer, man. He just came back from Mexico, took down an oscillated.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, and you're going to hear about him. You're going to hear about him on Working Class first, and then with us next the following week. So it's going to be pretty badass.
And another one is Dan Smeltz, also from the Hang and Bang team.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big-time supporter.
Yep,
I talked to him on the regular out of New York.
No.
He's Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
I'm sorry. He hunts in New York. And he was actually going to come down to Connecticut and turkey hunt with us also, but just couldn't make it happen. So
yeah, it's hard to line up. We're all working class, so it's hard to line up the schedules, but we do try to make it happen. I mean, it's just something to be said. And back to the Sue Aikens episode, the fact that she took the time to squeeze us in, and you're going to hear it. It's pretty cool. She's, I think she's more hardcore than us, man. I mean, obviously more hardcore than us as far as survival, but I mean, just in general as a person, it's like you're going to hear her call me a bonehead and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Down to earth individual, and honestly, we love her. We love her.
Absolutely. And she gave the old fucking backhand to D-Rock.
No, but, you know, it's because I asked her a question, and she answered it, but me not even thinking, especially being in her shoes, we don't know what she's lived through.
Right.
So I'm thinking, okay, she was asking me a question, but she was actually stating and answering the question.
Right.
So you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it.
Even the post or the pre-interview with talking to her on the phone, and she's like, you can ask me whatever I want. If not, I'll tell you to mind your own fucking business.
Exactly.
Just a show.
So on that note, sit back, crack a Shebeen. If you don't have a Shebeen, we're sorry. Crack open your favorite beer and enjoy the show. We love you.
Lydia Walter, why East Coast Bowhunting Podcast?
Because neither one of us wear pink camo.
East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Look, man, I'm from Wisconsin, and I listen to East Coast Bowhunters because you don't get anything more real than these guys.
Because East Coast Bowhunting sets the standards for keeping its listeners informed on everything that matters in the hunting industry.
It's nice having somebody, local and represent the East Coast for us.
The East Coast is going to saddle up.
Number one source for slain whitetails on the East Coast.
Well, you might see Jesus if you actually shoot something, it'll get you into heaven.
Why East Coast? Why not? I'm East Coast, baby. That's how we roll. Chew on that.
Come on the show a stranger, and you feel like one of the boys when you leave.
Because I get my hunting camp anytime I want.
There's some absolute monsters roaming the East Coast, and I think it needs a little attention, so why not bring it to the East Coast Bowhunters Podcast?
Man, because East Coast is a tight-knit crew, and y'all like me. Raw, real, no bullshit.
Because you guys are hometown boys. I love you guys.
This is Kurt Geyer with Working Class Bowhunter, and East Coast Bowhunting Podcast is the only hunting podcast I'll tune into.
What's up, y'all? Come on in. Here, have a Shebeen. It's a smoothie shop. It's banging. Shebeen. Just what we need to talk about making a deer bleed. We are the East Coast Bowhunting Podcast, and we are here at Slayer Studio in Coventry, Connecticut, hiding in the mountains of God's heaven. I'm your boy D-Rock, here with
East Coast Trev
and
Ryan the Porn Star.
And we have a very special treat as we hook up with one of the most badass women we know, Sue Aikens from Life Below Zero. We get down and dirty, and we get some real talk about being a savage. This episode is brought to you by Shebeen Brewing, the Hunter's Beer. 100 Demons, East Coast hardcore music, known worldwide. Trev's Euros for all your Euro mount needs. Encore Targets, self-healing targets to self-heal your pockets. Meyer Trail Cameras, who's on your hit list? Outright Hunting Products. The Morph Pro is the last bow hanger you'll ever buy. Ethics Archery. It's like steroids for your arrows. Tree Thrasher. Imitate the wild. Nor'easter Game Calls. Get them in close. Look into a 3D memory block or get a fully custom call, one of a kind. Saddle up with Wild Edge Inc., the leader in mobile hunting. If you don't have a perch, get one. This show is driven by Scranton Motors and powered by Scranton Power Sports. And ECB is presented by Working Class Bowhunter, the voice of the Midwest, the OGs of hunting podcasts, the brand of the hunting industry. East Coast Bowhunting Podcast is here as always for new and old hunters by sharing our experiences in the woods through playing and slaying. What's up?
What's up, D-Rock?
What's up, boys?
What's up, Rye?
Oh, shit, we're back. Back in Slayer Studio. Yo, we got a little special treat. Listen up, fellas. Our boy and loyal listener got inspired and hooked us up with a dope old school rap song called Turkey Fails. Check it out.
Sitting there on the hill, feeling that stick of steel. Crouched down behind some hollies, clucking with my blood serious collie. Get them in close, they say, but that ain't my problem today. Strike one, I blew it without even firing a shot. My jaw dropped, but no birds fly. They just pickpocked and bobbed off. They came straight like a bullet. I never even took a dang shot. They got in range, but behind a tree, so I decided to stroke the pot. Come on, just one more step to the right, Big Ben. He took one look at my fake head, then he saw me move out his beady little eye. Just like that, they were gone, like two old Toms who'd almost seen the light. Strike two, I blew it without even firing a shot. My jaw dropped, but no birds fly. They just pickpocked and bobbed off. Threw my striker, defeated, walked back to the truck, meatless. One more spot on my sleeve, but my gun I had to leave. So I took my bow and quiver, cause I knew this spot delivered. So I tried one more time to fill my tag, walked fast. 3 good yelps, then stood, and there it was, thunder from a chicken, rumble in the woods. Before I knew, I had 2 redheads heading my way, before I could even set up the goods. So I crouched down on my knee, behind my pack I hid, knocked an arrow in the PSC, 20 yards, drew back my bow, top pin on his lid. And strike 3, I flung it, forgot to tune my bow, field points were flying, hitting true though, but my broadheads couldn't say so. And that day, I was a master at getting them suckers in close.
Now it's the game close. Get them in close.
But that day was a disaster at sealing the deal, you know. But sometimes, that's just how it goes. East Coast Bowhunter Podcast. Check them out. Huntfishdoe. Out.
Shabane.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good looking out, Huntfishdoe.
Hell yeah,
Shout out
man.
to him, man. That was pretty dope, right?
It was wicked dope.
Yo, that
I love
was sick.
it. I love it.
Yo, the fact that he took his time and laid something down real quick and just kind of shot us out and
Nor'easter in there.
You got Mock's in there.
Yeah, Mock.
In the Blood series.
Yeah, that's
I love
cool,
it.
man.
Hell yeah,
love
man.
it.
Thank you, bro.
Any other listeners out there, if you feel inspired enough to do something like that, do it.
Whatever it is, whatever your talent is.
Yeah, we'll put it on the podcast. You know, that'd be
Hell
pretty
yeah.
badass.
Mhm.
I love it. I love it. That's dope as fuck.
Keep it up, brother.
Hell yeah. So what happened the past week, Trev? What you been up to?
The past week I kind of been just kind of laying low, kind of chilling. Back to work part time and on the weekends. So I'm trying to get some things done around the house. Been doing a little bit of scouting. We got 2 days left in the season. We're going out tomorrow. I'm going out with Caddy Cowboy. super excited about that. Got a couple of birds. Kind of let our woods kind of die down a little bit, and going to get back at it full charge for the next day or so.
So in podcast land, this will probably be released on June 3rd. So that's 2 weeks.
Yep.
2 weeks from today. And we're going to be closing out turkey season. So that's pretty cool. You're going to head out with Caddy Cowboy.
Yep.
Me, myself, I'm going out in the morning with Sean Polk. Shout out to him. And we're going to lay down a track real quick, too. And I think he's going to be on WCB as well. So it'd be nice to follow up and do something like that. Actually, it'd be beneficial if we recorded both episodes the same day, so this way we get quality audio. So I'll shout out to Kurt on that.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. This way we could reciprocate what they've been doing for us. So that's pretty cool. What about you? What about you, Ryan?
Oh, man, I've been working hard in podcast land, or real life, I suppose. I got in 2 days from now, Saturday, it's our last day. It's the next chance, and last chance I'm going to get out to kill that tom. So I planned on being out there hours before daylight, and I'm sitting until noon because I know where I'm going. They're coming through at some point, but I just got to be patient. Not pull a Trev and get out at 7:30 in the morning because the next spot might be better. I'm sitting there till noon because that big old tom's coming through at some point. So a lot of grinding, a lot of working, but hoping to get it done in the last day.
And you've been seeing him on one of our public land, actually. You gave me a call the other day. And
just in. Is that breaking news? What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Whitetail News with Ryan the Porn Star. As you all know, in the Whitetail News, we don't talk just whitetails. We bring to you any outdoor news, hot topics, new gear, shout-outs, and even remembrance of our fellow outdoorsmen and women, our fallen heroes. Our friend and listener who goes by Huntfishdoe on IG has sent me, quote, his news, and I thank him for that. He has brought to light on an East Coast hero, an avid bow hunter, Ron Tarantino, who was killed in the line of duty in 2016 as an officer of the Auburn, Massachusetts Police Department. So right here in our home area. At this moment, I would like to honor our brother of the woods and hero with a moment of silence. Amen, and thank you, everyone.
Amen. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Let's transition here into some latest bow hunting news and some big news out of Africa. That's right. I said Africa. I told you guys it wasn't just whitetails. So this news is going to open up windows for all you trophy bow hunters and, hell, the thrill seekers with this animal. Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority has lifted a ban on hunting Cape buffaloes with bows and arrows. Can you boys imagine getting a buffalo within bow range? That is some gnarly shit.
As long as I got a rifle, someone with a rifle next to me.
Considering it's probably one of the number one world's most dangerous animals.
I seen them motherfuckers take a lion out.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they have like fucking Volkswagens on their foreheads, dude.
I'm all set.
So just imagine getting that buffalo within bow range. You let the Zeus loose, attached to some ethic outserts coming out of that elite bow. Yeah, shameless plug there.
You're almost getting as good as P. Diddy.
I'm trying, man.
P.
Diddy, what up? P. Diddy and P. Diddy. Shout out to both of you.
And why is that you have to use ethics inserts over there in Africa?
Why is that?
Yeah.
You want to be able, well, we shoot whitetails with stuff that can blow through those things, so we want to make sure that an ethical kill.
But actually, one of the rules to taking the buffalo with the
enlighten us
with the archery,
how many grains?
Minimum of 600 grains.
Hell yeah,
a minimum.
And you know what'll get you there is that ethic outsource system.
That's it.
Hell yeah. So,
inject some steroids into your arrows.
For many years, hunting in Africa has been very controversial, as most of us know, and we all remember the Cecil kill that we know really put things over the edge. But conservationists have advised that hunting in South Africa, it helps the wildlife recovery efforts. And us as hunters and conservationists ourselves, we all know that we do that same thing back home, just on a different retrospect as Africa. With that and the push from hunters wanting the experience of getting away from the big bore rifles, as D-Rock was talking about, and getting back towards that experience of how it used to be done with a stick and string. But of course, as Trev was talking about, these bows are going to be highly regulated to ensure that clean kill such a giant and dangerous animal. These things are crazy. So for all you thrill seekers and you trophy hunters out there that love to do it with a bow, it's opening up. So Cape Buffalo, get you out there. Hey, D-Rock.
What's good?
Should we spill the news on what you and I are waiting for?
Run it.
Run it. So D-Rock and I are waiting on some elite rituals. They're ordered, they're shipped, and we're just freaking itching for these things.
Where'd you guys
any
order
day.
them from?
Elite, what'd you get?
I actually I hooked up with my boy Wade from Gator Outdoors, and I'm like, yo, Wade, I mean, this is our boy from Midwest, out of Iowa. So he's definitely hooked up with WCB as well. Shout out Working Class Bowhunter. And he reached out, and he's like, listen, I got this new company that's on the rise. He's outfitting the working class. And he's like, what do you need? I'm like, what do you mean, what do I need? And he's like, well, I know you need something. You guys are slaying it out there, but I'm sure you could step up your game. I'm like, what you trying to say, bro? He's like, no. He's like, no. I mean, I'm sure I could help you out somehow. I'm like, oh. So, in other words, I ordered my Elite Ritual 35 from Gator Outdoors.
Hell yeah. Nice.
And you know what? At first, is for someone to reach out, right? Especially in this industry, because unfortunately, I would love to trust anyone to shout out that really wants to help us out or whatnot. But this industry is just like the world out there, unfortunately. And this is something that we preach all the time, is that we need to get united. And it'd be nice so this way we can go by everyone's word. And not to get off subject, is just I kind of had to do a little, the little Mexican background check and make sure that this dude was legit. And come to find out, he's probably the nicest, down-to-earth family guy that's just trying to live the American dream, just like every Mexican south of the border.
Yeah.
So I felt his pain. So so I said, actually I need a Ritual 35, and he ordered it up for me. And
which one did you go with?
What color? What color?
The Mountain Country.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
right on.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Hell yeah.
We're in CT.
That's it.
I gotta match the woods. Ryan, which one did you get?
Hell yeah. So I went with the Ritual 33, and I got it in snow camo. I mean, I currently shoot a Z28, and I've been doing it for years. I got a ton of kills on it. It's been a great shooting bow. It still is, still looks good. I'm keeping it a full setup. But, years ago, Trev and I went to the shop, and I saw a Z28 in snow camo, and I fell in love with that pattern ever since. And D-Rock presented me with this. I said, I'm doing it. So Ritual 33, do a little target with it, a little killing with it, and it's going to be friggin' sick.
Hell yeah.
And I'm telling you, he has the hookup. I mean, for some, I don't know how he does it, but he has the magic way of getting you a better price. So not only is he pushing quality, he gets that better price.
Hell yeah.
So if you don't know Gator Outdoors, look him up.
Check him out. And that is your Whitetail News, brought to you by Ryan the Porn Star. And be like Huntfishdoe and send me your news.
And send Trev your nudes.
Send them.
Have you gotten any nudes, Trev?
No, thank God. I don't really actually want them, but I was just... I think it's kind of funny.
Come on. I know you're curious.
No, I'm good.
Not even bi-curious?
No. I'm good.
What if I get you drunk enough?
Nope. Ooh, not happening.
Maybe.
Not enough Shabine in the
Check
world.
Check back for next episode to find out how this ends.
So what you got, Trev?
I got a little bit of fun. Yeah, I got foraging and fishing fun with East Coast Trev. So
awesome.
I'm going to let you guys in a little bit, something a little bit new. In today's foraging and fishing fun report, things are really starting to heat up on the water. The schoolie striper bass have moved in full force with recent decent keepers mixed in.
Say that 5 times.
I like that.
Recent decent keepers. Yeah. Recent decent keepers. Recent decent keepers.
Got me all fucked up. And also, the bluefish have shown up chasing in heavy amounts of shad, herring, and bunker here in Connecticut. Also, very good reports of numbers of squid in Rhode Island. New York and New Jersey also are filling the boats and the freezers with bass up to 50 pounds. So that means that the bass are coming up the coast.
Hell yeah.
Also, in New York, the fluke have started to trickle in up to 15 pounds on the south side of Montauk. A lot of our friends here in the East Coast are also force-feeding carp and snakeheads. What else we got to say? So get out there and make the report. Don't read it. And shut up and fish. Also, this week on your fun-picking foraging report, Morel season is still going longer than usual due to the cold temperatures holding and also holding on to the ramp season longer than usual, but coming to a slow end. Still plenty out there to be picked. Also, with the cold temps and moisture, the chicken of the woods is starting to show its face, along with some good sightings of pheasant backs, aka droid saddles. There has also been a huge boom in oyster mushrooms in the northeast. In the past couple of weeks, also great numbers of golden oysters also coming from our man, the whitetail drifter out in Iowa. So they come out there to be found. They are out there to be found. So when you are out... Hold on.
That's all right, man. No, you're doing
it
good,
ain't
man.
easy to read and talk.
You're doing good, man.
So also, while you're out there during velvet season, keep your eyes peeled for different colors on dead trees. But know your mushrooms. And if you don't know them, please feel free to ask. Send me a message. I'll point you guys in the right direction. I'll put you on the right pages and get you in touch with what's going on in the forage wood. But do not eat anything that you don't know what it is.
Trev, what happens if they do?
Mushrooms.
Where they going?
You're going to fucking Alice in the Wonderland.
Oh, shit. Don't tempt me with a good time. But you know what? I shot you a text earlier, and this is an amazing app. It's a game changer.
Oh, yeah. I missed it because Trev's bloopers got a hold
Oh, you know what? Let's dive into that.
Dive into that.
So obviously, as you guys all know, I'm a fisherman by trade, and I was helping some friends put in some boats today, and we have a standstill dock which runs on pulley systems at one of the docks where my buddy keeps his boat. And I was helping him, and I had to trim up the boat after we flushed out the motor, so on and so forth. And I go to step on the back of the transom, and my other foot was on the dock. And as you can imagine, I'll paint the picture. I'm a 260-pound fucking man, and I'm doing a full-out gymnastics split, yelling for somebody to grab the rope and pull it back. And I
Did your nutsack rip?
Dude, I don't know what ripped, but it hurt, and it wasn't.
Is that why your ball sack is down to your knees now? Because you're wearing shorts, and I see it a little bit.
It's tough. So I ended up falling in the fucking water, which happens to me all the time. At least once a year, I end up in the water. So I guess I'll take it for a win.
You know how they make the man's ear or the bro?
Yeah.
I think they'll do some kind of old man ball sack support. I think they have that. I'll get you one.
Hey, boys, real quick. I got a Trev blooper here. Trev, I'm noticing you took your sweatshirt off. You are wearing a shirt, a half sleeve shirt, normal t-shirt. You only got one sleeve. Now, I know what happened to this t-shirt.
Thank God it's not a half shirt.
Why don't you explain to us what happened to your other sleeve, Trev?
So when you have to use the bathroom, I just rip off a sleeve and use it for toilet paper.
Oh, you know what? That's a good idea. It's better than a sock.
Yeah.
Way better than a sock.
Yeah, so, I mean, I look a little funny. I got a half sleeve on one side and a full sleeve on the other, but at least I had some toilet paper in the
Yeah, I thought you were just doing tribute to the hood.
No.
Oh, D-Rock's coming.
That dirty water.
Yo, what's up, my brother?
Yeah. No, I use it for toilet paper. That's a survivalist tip, ninja tip of the day from Trev.
Hey, you're getting ahead of the game.
Don't waste your sock. Don't waste your sock. Use your sleeve.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I used to take and make him a belly shirt, and I cut a half moon out of the center, but people didn't want to see that shit, so
saddle up.
Saddle up. That's awesome, man. So how pumped are you guys to get Sue on the phone?
Dude, when you told me who was going to be on, I was blown away, man. I can't freaking wait to get Sue on the phone. I've been watching the show for years, and it's awesome.
Hell yeah. It's definitely going to be a fun time, and you know what? Let's cut to it. Let's get her on the phone. right, so we're back on the line with Sue Aikens. How you doing, Sue?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourselves?
Good. Thanks for asking. So just to get a gist of things, right now is the evening for us, and you're in Alaska time zone. So what time, for our listeners, just to give them a paint the picture, what time is it over there?
It's just a little bit after 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
And us hooligans are interrupting your daily process, right?
Well, each day is a little bit unique, but I actually, the film crew, doing the show Life Below Zero, and the film crew is up here right now.
Dope.
So I can't tell you what I'm doing, but I can tell you it is pretty fat and fantastic. It's something really, really fun that I've been wanting to do for a little while.
That's really cool. I'm excited. You're riling us up now. Yeah. My blood is flowing. My blood is, well, maybe it's the beer flowing.
Yeah.
Shabeen. So, Sue, we had a quick little chat before. We're sponsored by Shabeen Brewing, so we do crack beers through the show. And we encourage our guests to do the same if they're able to. But you're filming, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah, well, and this thing that I'm doing that I cannot name probably wouldn't mesh with it. But I do expect that at my P.O. box and then in a small bush plan, I would get a sample of said quality items.
Oh, you know what? We could definitely make that happen for sure. For sure. Once we hit the stop button, I'll get your P.O. box and we'll make that happen. You like coffee too?
Nice. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, word, because we're sponsored by Death Wish Coffee Company out of New York. So
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
We can make that happen too. Get a little care package out to you. All right, so let's kick it off. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and where we can find you.
Mom, my name is Susan Aikens, and where I live, there's no road to get here. It's actually, my driver's license. If I haven't driven in a long time, but like everybody, I've got to have one. If I get pulled over, it's a GPS coordinate on my driver's license: 69.4 north, 146.54 west. I live at a place called Kavik River Camp, and it's on the north of Alaska. I'm on the show for National Geographic called Life Below Zero, and I'm about 15 miles off the Arctic Ocean.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more savage you get than that.
Yeah, probably not your typical grandma.
Definitely grandma I would look up to, for sure. and that's pretty amazing.
I was at an event recently, and I just gained rock star status with the grandkids. I had my picture taken with 50 Cent. And,
hell yeah! That's a Connecticut boy.
Yeah. Immediately sent it to my grandkids. I got an 18, 15, 12-year-old grandkid, and they're like, "No way!" And I said, "Yeah, he might have gotten shot, but I got ate by a bear. I think I won."
Gonna have to agree there. That's pretty dope. So this was an event in New York, you were saying, right?
Yeah.
How was that? How'd you like the East Coast? I mean, aside from the weather at that time.
The weather was, where I live here in Kavik. It's I'm the only resident in a 500 square mile area, so your entire population is me, and it's actually considered an Arctic desert. Usually, I get 8 inches of precip. Doesn't matter what form it falls in, whether it's snow or it's rain. So when I was out there in New York doing some stuff for the show, it's much more. There's much more humidity, so it was definitely a different climate. And people make the mistake of thinking that people always say oh, I thought you didn't like people, and I said I never said I don't like people. I'm gregarious. I talk to people. I like hearing about it. I just don't want to live with everybody.
Amen.
So if I know when I'm arriving and I know when I'm leaving, then I'm a happy little clam. I can be as gregarious and chatty as I can. But, if I know I'm leaving on the 20th and I'm still there on the 22nd, the eyebrows start going down and I start plotting my escape route.
I heard that.
I don't blame
that.
you.
That's kind of our therapy. We're actually always surrounded by people. It's vice versa. We're always surrounded by people that our therapy is actually getting away and getting into the woods. So we can definitely understand that.
Yeah, well, it's like here, I actually live in a town, and the show has been going for, 7-8 years we've been filming, and but I've actually been here. A lot of people don't know that I've been here 18 going into 19 years. And to hear me say that in 500 square miles I'm the only person for a lot of the year, and then you see it on the show where I'm like, I think I'm going to go out and go camping. And people are like, you live in a tent off the Arctic Ocean. What the hell you need to go camping for,
Oh, man. So, how old were you when you started hunting?
I was actually pretty young. The first time I had a gun handed to me and told, you better figure this stuff out, I don't even think I was double digits yet. First time I was successful at a big game, probably around 10. I don't... First time, let's see, the first time I killed an elk, and then 13.
Wow.
Caribou and bear, probably 11 or 12. Yeah, I don't know. That's like asking somebody, when did we invent the wheel? I mean, I'm old now.
Oh, come on. Come on. So, when did you know you fell in love with the outdoors? Do you remember that?
Always.
Right?
When I was a little kid, I was born in Chicago, but my mom moved me up to Alaska when I was real, real young. But in the early 60s, even as 2 or 3 years old, in the early 60s, when you ask a young girl, what do you want to be when you grow up? Your stock answer was always, you could say wife or mother. By the time the mid to late 60s rolled around, you could toss in stewardess or nurse, maybe even teacher. But my answer was always the same. I wanted to be a lighthouse keeper. I've always craved extreme isolation. I remember, I think it was maybe around 1966 to 1968, somewhere around there, we went to Yellowstone. And it's just a different time back then. There were a lot of bears roaming all over the roads. And they didn't really watch what I was doing. I tootled off, and I remember to myself, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to go play with those dogs. I wandered off and I was playing with the doggies, and I got real tired and I lay down to go to sleep. Well, I never paid attention to the time frame. Now you back it up to what my parents were doing. All of a sudden, they couldn't find me. They got the police involved. Everybody was searching for me. And the story goes that I was sleeping with the mother bear and her cubs.
What?
I thought they were bears. And so I've always been really comfortable in the outdoors, and that's where I've just felt at home. And, when I was real young, the doctors always said, that emotionally I probably, who knows why they said it, but they said that I would probably never emotionally graduate more than, or emotionally get past a 7 or 8 year old status. And they're probably not too far off. I really don't understand. I don't understand people's propensity towards cruelty, meanness, why we got to put each other down instead of lift each other up. I really don't understand the emotional urge to crush each other. I just don't get it. So they're not terribly. I'm an emotional midget. And when I approach life, living out here, normally the last person I see is sometime around September, and the next person I see is the following June. And you can't live that much time alone and come from an emotional place. People ask me all the time, don't you get lonely? And I said, no, you can't. That's admitting that you're lonely. That's giving into sadness. That's a depressed state. and I don't do that. You know, I can register that I live alone, but it doesn't follow that I'm lonely.
Right.
You know, it's all in how you look at it. You know, I may not be extremely happy at the moment, but it doesn't follow that I'm sad.
True. I like that. I like that outlook. That's for sure. So who did you look up to then versus now? Like
me?
Yeah, like your idol or role model or a mentor. Who was your mentor then versus now?
Me? No, I wasn't asking in the sense, but yeah, I was saying me.
Okay.
That was your answer, bonehead.
I like that.
Someone's putting the Mexican in his place.
I mean, I've always been real happy in between my own ears. I'm very introspective. There's just things about my life that led me to. I had to rely on myself from an extremely early age, and I'm not unhappy about that. The things that I went through when I was very young led me to be who I am today, and I'm a lot of fun to hang with. You know, there's more than one personality rolling around in my head. You know, they may not all know each other, but they're a lot of fun to hang with.
I like that. So you kind of hang out with yourself, so to speak.
Yeah, a lot of the time, you know, the only education I had in college, I graduated high school, 12 going on 13.
In Alaska,
later, I
right?
had to go back and redo. Later I had to go back and redo a couple of credits because they did not accept Alaska past and present as a history course. And, you know, why, who the fuck knows, but they didn't. So I had to go back and repeat it. And I learned Latin before I learned English, so they made me go and retake English classes. And so I redid that later on. But I was very young at the time to go to college. So I didn't, you know, and in Alaska, you had a choice. You could go and learn how to drive a car or learn how to fly a plane. So I learned how to fly a plane, got a plane, went to work. Independent, taking care of myself. You know, the world is a pretty big friggin' place. And people always ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I'm not very grown up yet, but, you know, when I get there, I still don't know. The world's a big place. I got to go figure it out. I haven't found out what I want to be when I grow up, but it's out there.
Nice. So when you did get your plane, did you travel outside of Alaska at all? I mean, obviously you travel, I'm sure, nationwide or even around the world now, but when you first got your plane as a young lady, what was your dream then once you got into your plane?
You know, Alaska, flying in Alaska, you know, planes are more like cars to us here. You know, at the time, I think we only had 2 highways back then. Now we've got a bustling 3. But, you know, I've flown all over the world. The world is a big place. All you got to do, if you want to go do something, get a JOB, get some money behind you, and go do it. You want to see Antarctica, get a JOB, go figure it out. The only thing in life that stops you from what you want to do is you. Is it going to be difficult? Perhaps. Is it going to seem nigh impossible? Maybe. But, you know, it's like me when I got here to do this. You know, I've been in my 30s, 40s, and 50s, and now I'm going to be approaching my 60s out here. When I first got here, people looked at me. As a Caucasian, I can't own the land out here. I have to lease it from the agency that owns it. We have squatters' rights in Alaska. What does that mean? That means that if there's a piece of land lying fallow, you can take that land, put a certain size cabin on it, make certain improvements on it, and after X amount of years, if nobody's argued about it, you can apply to take that land away. It's a squatter's right.
Nice.
So to prevent me from getting the land that way, I have to either live in a tent or I have to live in a mobile structure, something on tracks. So I've been living for 18, 19 years out here in a tent. I'm challenge driven, you know, but when I first got here, people would say, you're this age, you're fat, you're a female, you can't do this. This is too tough. Nobody could do that alone. Well, that's the challenge. The only person that, I didn't know if I could, but I didn't know that I couldn't. So I've been to several countries. I'm one of those people that, some people can do really difficult math equations in their head. I'm one of those people that if you drop me in any foreign country within 24 hours, I'm fully conversational. I have no clue why, but I can be. So that made it easy to travel.
What was the hardest communication barrier you ever had on your travels, and what country was it?
I don't know. I never really had a whole lot of communication barriers.
Nice. What was your favorite country you visited outside of the U.S.?
Different ones for different reasons. Scotland, I went to Scotland. That's family background from there. And it's like having a whole country of people who think like me. Very irreverent sense of humor. Every single country I've been to, there's something amazing about it. If you leave yourself open, I think in today's world, there's a propensity to find what's wrong with another culture. If the culture doesn't fit in with whether it's your political ideal, your religious ideal, whatever, whether it's the way you dress, the way you wear your hair, the way you whatever it is, then they've got to be wrong. Well, what about the wild ideal that we're all on the freaking globe spinning around on the, in the solar system together and just learn something from the other culture? And that's kind of what I did, is just like a little excited 3-year-old. I run around the planet and I meet people and I go, show me what you got.
Nice.
I'm curious to know what people are all about. I'm not interested in telling them what I'm about. I'm interested in learning what they're all about. You go to Egypt and you see the pyramid. That's pretty cool shit. I have no desire to go and tell them how to build it into a circle.
Right. I like that view. That's actually a very positive view.
Yeah. Well, life's short to be terribly negative.
Oh yeah. And I want to kind of reel back to what you were saying, how people just want to bash people. I want to go back to that a little bit and just touch on it. Because you seem to be, out of most of the cast from Life Below Zero, you seem to have the biggest presence to the outside world, so to speak, in the sense of your social media platform. What are your thoughts on social media when you see someone bashing someone else?
Well, I don't know. First of all, I don't know. I'm not quite sure I follow what you're saying as far as the one on the show with the biggest social media platform or whatever. I'm not sure I get that.
Well, in the essence of you have it seems, generally speaking, that you have the most contact on the outside world. In the sense of you are in tune with your fans, people that look up to you. And like you said, you're actually a chatty Cathy. You're not lonely. But my question is,
I do. When I first got up here, I've been married more than once. Two spouses passed away. I'm not an easy keeper. Two died to get away. But and I joke about it, but I have children. I've got a 35-year-old daughter. I've got a 32-year-old son. However, if you look on the internet, for goodness sakes, there's so much misinformation on the internet. It's crazy. They've got me married to somebody entirely different with a 28-year-old son. I immediately called up my friend and said, dude, I'm claiming child support first, and they're like, what? And I said, read it. We have a 28-year-old kid. we both must have gone in blackout, so that's really kind of a bummer because I don't even know what we named him, but I'm claiming the child support first. But no,
Shubbing.
you know, with my children and then my grandchildren, you know, even though when I went back to being, like the female Grizzly Adams doing my own thing out in the wild, I still am a parent and grandparent. So when I got out here, one of the first things I wanted to figure out, you can't run a business this far remote. That's one of the other codicils to being out here, is I have to lease the property. I have to have a business. It has to be open to the oil and gas industry. You know, it can't go in the red. I've got to stay in the black. There's a lot of codicils to me being up here doing this. It's not just, hey, I landed my dog team out here. Well, it looks cute. Let's stay. And those are all challenges. So, but one of the things is, you can't get clients if they can't get a hold of you. Now, when I got here, not many people were doing the internet because it's very hard to get over the curvature of the earth and hit the satellites. And so, but I remember as a child that when we were trying to send men to the moon, once they went out of line of sight, it was difficult to talk to them. So we used the moon as a static bounce. So I brought up the geologists when they came through, and I said, hey, where's my good bedrock? Because I want to hit the signals, figure out the skew. I can do that mathematically, but I'll bounce the signal from the bedrock, and the moon, and hit the backside and get the satellites. And then I'll do my internet. And that's what I've done. And all my dishes point down, and I bounce the signal around, and that's how I get my satellite internet. So I do have communication. Now that I'm doing a show, people take time out of their lives and they watch it. And my grandchildren and my children, that was the main idea for me to have the internet and have social media. It wasn't so that I could have fans. It was so that my children, I'd get up there originally on, I think it was MySpace back then. And, you get up there and you just say 5 fingers, 10 fingers, 10 toes. And they knew that I was all right. If I put up 3 fingers and 1 toe, well, something happened. But with the advent of the shows, there's a lot of people that take time out of their lives and they watch. And pretty cool. You got some people that are what everybody deems haters. And it doesn't matter what you do, they're going to find something wrong with it. And that's just part of the territory too. But I do appreciate everybody that watches. One of the largest fan bases that I have are children, and I actually some of the revenue that I do generate from the show, I turn around. That's a blessing, and I turn around and I support 4 to 8 kids with cancer or terminal illnesses a year, and that's a big portion of my life. I don't highlight that. That's really nobody. Yeah, that's nobody else's business. I do that because I have a passion for it. As adults, we fixed it or fucked it by our age. But little kids, no. They need our help. And I've lost a grandchild, and I had another one affected by it. And it's just, it's something that I do.
I'm very sorry for your losses, and that's
really fun.
Yeah, that's very commendable. That's very commendable.
You know what? It's just something we all need to do. If we all lifted each other up, it'd be a pretty different world. And I know you guys are real interested in, I think we were talking before about conservation. And that's something that if you really pay attention in the show, and even with guys that come up, that film the show, they're very small crews. But one of the things I can tell you, they're really good about repurpose, reuse. When they come up, it's not excess. People, they think about the cruise and, they're bringing champagne and caviar, while sometimes that would sound really freaking great, this is a protected ecosystem, and they are super mindful about how we do it. Everything that gets packed in gets packed out. Whatever I am going through, they're going through it plus, because they have to get the cameras and be out there filming it. So it's pretty neat. So the thing that I'm working on right now that you'll see probably in so many months, almost everything that you're going to see in it is something that everybody else might have thrown out, considered junk, burned, run over, buried, but I've turned it into something pretty monumental. You have to conserve, reuse, repurpose, or we're going to lose this planet.
Agreed 100%. What does conservation mean to you, Sue?
What does conservation? There's several different aspects of it. I mean, conservation on one hand, setting aside lands so that people will be able to, see. You have conservation lands. You have lands that are preserved so that you have the trees, the birds, the butterflies, the streams, the fish, and that's all good. Is it conservation so that people can go hunt? Sometimes. Is it conservation so that it is untouched? Occasionally. I think that conservation needs to take many, many forms. We need to conserve our efforts in the usage of the big one right now, plastics. You go in the ocean and you see these plastic, the plastic islands floating around and killing fish, and and there's a lot of finger pointing going on. Now you go back into the 60s and 70s and plastics were all the shiznit. Because it was a new thing and it was pretty handy. For a lot of years it was. Well, now we're finding out it's not. So stop the finger pointing and let's just come up with something better. But, we've got to quit doing everything in excess. We've got to stop micromanaging, too. You can't manage a herd of elk by killing off all the bears, because then you're not in balance. So it's such a tight weaved web. And now we're getting into the dangerous territory where I go off into 15 subjects and never finish one.
No, that's all right. That's all right. We love this. We love this. This is going awesome. And I want to kind of bring it back to you were saying if everyone would pick someone up or help someone out, we'd be in a much better situation. And that's another thing that us as a team here is about, is the unity. And it's something Trev and I always say, that like this is the United States of America. And it seems like even us conservationists, quote unquote, we seem to kind of segregate each other and put each other into other groups. Not all of us, of course, because all of us get it, or most of us get it. But I just wanted to see your thoughts on what is your kind of prototypical heaven that you would see or want to see, especially you contributing and doing what you can do for the people in need.
Well, I am the epitome of, kind of like the "don't tread on me." I mean, I take the word loner and kind of put it in capital letters, a little bit of neon, and stick it around every single post that I have. But you can't really go too much further away, than what I've done. But my bent would be, if you really wanna educate, you really wanna change the world, you really need to start with the kids. You really need to get education on a young person level. Get them away from like I'm talking to you on an iPhone over the Wi-Fi. Little kids in kindergarten now, they do the computers, they do the iPhones, they do this, they do that. They're so plugged in that we used to ride bikes, by the time a light came on in the park, you knew your butt was going to get beat. That's the only time you had to come home.
Yep.
And, for me, I didn't have that because I had a whole Alaskan thing going on. But, I think that we need to get back to, touching the earth, in tune with the earth. The United States of America, yeah, that's good. But, we have to think a little bit more globally. But, yeah, we got to get down to the kid level Get those kids doing archery in school. Yeah, they need to learn how to run computers, but what happens when the grid goes down? Get them to learn archery. Get them to learn how to shoot a gun, shoot it responsibly, and not at another human being. Learn how to raise pheasants, raise deer. How do you cut up your own meat? You've got to teach them how do you grow a plant. If you want to be a vegetarian, I've got no problem with that, but you learn how to grow it. Learn how to freeze it, learn how to package it, learn how to, the victory gardens in the war effort. There's so much that people have forgotten to do and share and help. There's going to be a hell of a reckoning if the grid ever does go down.
Amen to that, sister. Amen to that. And then that's something that us as a commune kind of battle on a daily basis to the people that, you put it best, is uneducated. People that just don't know because they do have their nose in a phone, or they have supermarkets, or, we need to get back to the basics, so to speak. So I'm glad you bring that up.
Yeah.
I want to take a little break, though.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
Yeah, well, I just want to also point out one thing, because I'm going to have to cut it real short. I in no way, shape, or form am putting anybody down, because a lot of these jobs, that's just where your head has to be.
Right.
People do the best that they can, but I think we educationally in the schools, you gotta get back into learning how to do the basics.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. So I just wanted to take a little break and just to get to know you a little more. Is what's your first of all, everyone wants to know what's your favorite hat that you like to wear when you're out there, because you wear multiple cool hats. That's got to be a main reason why the kids love you.
Yeah, well, it all started out with the hats. My grandkids, it started with the grandkids sending them to me. And when they would see me in one, it was almost like we were spending time together. And then it was some of the kids that I help with cancer or other illnesses. And like there was a young man, he knitted me a hat and he made me this little animal. And he did it when he was doing his chemo. And it became apparent he wasn't going to make it. And so the nurses sent it as fast as they could. This is when I got Little Red, my little machine. And they sent it up as fast as they could when I was bringing Little Red home. And we actually filmed a little bit of that scene and sent it out to him. And he got to see it right before he passed away.
Oh, man.
People send me things and I'll wear it. I'm getting all emo about it. There's not much I won't do for a kid. As adults, it's maybe a little questionable. I love people. Don't want to live with them. My favorite hat's probably the little sock monkeys. I have a penchant for sock monkeys. But when I go bear hunting, I like to wear the bear hats. Caribou hunting, I wear the caribou hat. But yeah, it's just for me. Heck, I don't see any reason to graduate kindergarten. I get snacks and naps. What's not to love?
That's so cool. That's so cool. And I love the fact that you have a hat for each hunt, too. That's really cool, too. That's dope. I like that. It makes sense, though. You should wear a different hat for a certain...
Yeah.
That's really cool. So what kind of music do you listen to? You must love music.
I do. I listen to all kinds. I love opera too. I like all kinds of music. Part of my brain is stuck in the 60s and 70s. I do hate to do it though. I've got to wrap this up here in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
We are in the middle of filming and I have to get back out there. I got a big old storm coming in and this creation I am doing will not tolerate the storm.
Nice. All right. Thanks for the 5-minute warning. So that will bring us to... What do you think that is, Sue? I gave you a quick heads up before we started the show.
I'm not sure.
That's the ninja tip of the day. For our listeners, what's your ninja tip of the day? The best good outdoor advice for them.
Ooh. Best good outdoor advice. I hate giving people advice.
Well, you're a mom and a grandma.
Outdoor advice. I know. Well, yeah, but it's like there's a meme that's out there on the social platforms, and I had to snicker. I put it up on myself. There's one, you got like this kangaroo, and the baby's in the pouch, and the mom's looking at it, going, "I'll hold you and caress you forever." And there's a little bear one, "I'm gonna love you forever." And there's some other animal, "I'm just gonna caress you forever." And then there's me, like a bird, and it's kicking the little one out of the nest, going, "Fly, bitch!" That's kind of my parents.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. No, what could I say about being outdoors or being, hunting? I mean, being outdoors.
Yeah, outdoors.
Being outdoors, like where I live, be prepared for anything. I mean, know the location you're going to. Out here, I see people come up and they look across, like people come out here to hunt, and they look across the tundra and they'll see caribou. It's very hard to judge distance because there's no trees, there's no buildings. And in your real world, people can judge distance like, oh, that's 100 yards because they're used to, building a story is 10 feet. They can judge things.
Right.
Here, you don't have that. But people look and they think the tundra is flat and they're like, oh, I can go and, I can hike that. I'll be there in 20 minutes. And I'm like, well, you go, boy. I'm going to sit here and watch you. And, you got to really do your homework. If you think Alaska can be a pretty unforgiving place, I'm not putting myself up on a pedestal. We have probably 20, 30 different ecosystems in our state. It's a huge place. Wonderful place to visit, but do a little homework. You want to go sheep hunting, those scree fields will make an infant out of your ankles in about 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
It's an absolutely stellar hunt, but it's gonna make a baby out of any man in about 10 seconds. Same thing with women,
Yeah.
But our weather change on a dime. I've seen it. The hottest it's been out here is 114 above zero that I've been in, and that's unheard of. But within so many, I think it was a week later, we had 3 foot of snow.
Jeez.
So if you're out there hunting, you need to be prepared. So
that's good. That's good advice.
Preparing for know where you're going and be prepared for the extremes.
Nice. Hit it, Ryan. All right. Sue Aikens, what rattles your antlers? What gets under your skin on the outdoors or outdoor industry or even life in general? What rattles your antlers?
What rattles my antlers? Well, again, I'm going to have to speak from personal experience out here. I have had, without going into a lot of detail, because everybody can look it up. I have a lot of experience with bears out here. And there's a certain faction of people that come out and they're camping or they're doing whatever, they're staying, and they think it's hilarious to walk up to the side of the building or the tent in the middle of the night and, roar, and they beat on the side of the tent. And so I have to remind them that, beating on the side of my tent where I'm sleeping going, roar, is only so funny as click, click is to them.
Amen to that. Oh, yeah. I like that. Yeah. So we always like to end the show, and thank you for your time for sure. But we always like to end the show with a round of positivity. So what I take out of that is everyone needs to go. As a child, you want to, wake up sleeping next to Mama Bear, and at the same time, when you grow old and you visit Sue, don't scratch at her tent because you might get your head blown off. Trev, what do you got around the positivity?
just, you know, learning everything about what Sue's doing out there. I mean, it's a whole different world and all the different ecosystems and everything, and just kind of put me back in check of, like, you know, the love for Mother Nature and what it actually has to offer. And I can't thank you enough, Sue, for coming out and doing this with us and taking the time out of your day.
Nice. Ryan, what you got?
know, you guys...
Oh, go ahead, Sue. Sorry.
No. Go for it.
Ryan, what you got? Round of positivity.
What I got here is just thankful for Sue being on our show. I want to thank my brothers here in the studio for just getting to where we are today. I'm just thankful for everything every day. So thanks to everyone on the podcast right now. Thanks for everyone on the show, and thanks for all of our listeners. So I'm just thankful for everything that we have at this time.
Word. I like that. And Sue, close us off. What's your round of positivity?
My round of positivity is, thank you guys for inviting me. And, I'm out here. I'm alone. I'm doing my gig. I can talk longer than anybody I've ever met about 40 billion subjects. And sometimes I come off as being, tough. But I'm grateful, positive. There's a lot of really friggin' awesome people on this planet. You talk about the fan base, you talk about all the social media and my outreach. The 99.9% of the people that I meet, I'm up here in Alaska doing my really remote thing, but you don't have to be remote to be living in the jungle. Everybody's doing their own gig out there, and I'm really proud of them.
That's awesome.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet everybody.
Well, it's a pleasure having you on the show. And again, we can't thank you enough for taking the time, and we'll be sensitive to your time. I love the 5-minute warning. I think I'm going to instill that for all our guests. This way we know when to wrap it up. Yep. And we got to do this again, Sue. We got to do this again. Feel free to reach out anytime. And anytime you have big news, whatever it is.
All right.
Hit us up and we'll take a crack at it. And I'll hit you up later on, too, to get that P.O. box and get you hooked up with a nice care package from all of us.
Oh, cool. All righty. Well, you guys take care, and thank you again so much.
And on that note, stay steppin'
and stay slaying.
I've never had Tigamani eyes, and I'll never kill a Boone and Crockett. I try to let a few does walk, but if that freezer runs low, I gotta stock it. These scrub bugs got no mass, darn sure no drop times, but this chili has deer burger in it tonight.
Where did this podcast go? Straight to hell. Yeah, speaking of hell, check out East Coast Bowhunting Podcast.
We keep it real on East Coast. First of all, I'm addicted to the show.
I like that. That's cool.
Hunt, you live it, you breathe it.
It's a whole different world.
Just East Coast has a little bit more of an edge and a grind.
It's a fantastic thing.
You guys are fucking awesome.
Well, number one is you guys like beer.
I want to feel like I'm hanging with the boys.
Your guys just showed up.
But I actually saw Jesus.
The point where it is now, where it's insane.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
I just want to get the realest people possible in the industry. It's not pissing people off. We're not doing it right.
Nothing forced. All fucking natural.